Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rent-Free History, the show about history that lives rent-free in your head. I'm your host, Kemdi Wosu, and today I'm joined by...
Annabelle Soto.
Annabelle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Kemdi. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Recording 2 podcasts today. These will be 2 of the last podcasts that I record at Cal State Fullerton. And it's somewhat bittersweet, but also somewhat happy because it means I'm moving on to better and brighter things. You are as well?
I am.
Because we are both graduating.
Yep, 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. Of course, when these will probably come out during the summer, so by that point, we will have already graduated.
We will be alumni.
We will be alumni.
Officially.
Do you think you'll come back to the school at all after you graduate?
As a student, I don't foresee that.
Okay.
But I do see coming back to support in any way that I can, specifically with like the CTVA department. I think that it's important to keep young people who want to pursue the arts and keep them at a place where they can learn and grow and expand. And I think a lot of that has to do with people who give advice. So, coming back after leaving college and going out into the field, it'll be kind of helpful to come back, maybe for a podcast, who knows. But even to give advice or even support them at like different film events.
So we're both CTVA majors, Cinema and Television Arts. What at first got you into wanting to be a film major, kind of pursuing it as a career?
So I was 18 and I had just graduated high school when La La Land came out.
Wow.
And I remember going into it completely blind. I had seen Whiplash, so I was familiar with, Damien Chazelle and Justin Hurwitz and their collaborations. But I just looked up at that screen and I was like, damn, I could do that. I can write something, I can be in something, I can direct something. So that was like my turning point. I went to a community college. I went to Santiago Canyon College in Orange. And they didn't really have a large film program. They had a handful of classes, like just a few, like 1 or 2 history courses, I believe. And so I took those because that was my only way into film at the time. But once I got into Cal State Fullerton, I took a deep dive and just went straight into CTVA.
All right. Actually, fun fact about we were talking about alumni and then also La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
Something I do is for Titan Universe at Titan TV. I interview alumni about their like career journeys and experiences since like leaving college. And there was one girl that I actually interviewed this week, and she tells me this story about I was working. My friend offered me to like be a PA on the set of this like low budget indie film, and I worked it a couple days, and then like it got nominated for like a bunch of Oscars. It was La La Land.
Not the reveal.
Yeah, that wasn't even the only one. There was another thing she was talking to me about where she was trying to set up like a podcast for a company she worked for. So she was trying to interview or learn from this one guy that she used to work with at a news station who does a lot of radio, and they brought along someone else, and it was this woman, and the 2 of them got talking, and the end, like, they really bonded, and she basically says, can I get your number? I'd love to go out for coffee again another time and just like talk. This has been really nice. And she says, sure. My name's Lucie. And she says, oh, okay, well, how do it's spelled but it's spelled Lucie like I-E at the end instead of Y. And then, she says, oh, well, I might have like another Lucie on my phone. Do you mind giving your last name too? And she's like, yeah, sure. Arnaz.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Lucille Ball's daughter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would just, be floored by something like that personally. Yeah. But like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And they just go out for coffee.
Very fortunate person. Yeah. Very fortunate.
It just happened. Sure. Yeah. It was a real Forrest Gump like type story that she was telling me. Just like everything seemed to like just happen and like that would have been really funny.
And you know what? I will claim that energy. I will manifest that for the both of us for sure.
Forrest Gump, fun fact, actually not so fun fact, but depending on how you look at it. So Forrest Gump, very popular movie. They actually were going to make a sequel to Forrest Gump.
Okay.
It was going to be called Gump and Company. They wrote the script. They finished writing the script about 7 years after the original. Original came out in 94.
Okay.
2001.
Yes.
The script was turned in on September 10th, 2001.
For the people listening, I'm gagged. Like,
Yeah.
fully mouth open, shocked. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a sign that did not get picked up.
Yeah. I guess they had... My friend, my best friend, he does stand-up. And I told him about this, and he worked it into his stand-up routine.
Of course he did. Of course.
Because he was like, if they like kind of like rewrote that.
I was thinking this.
Of just like there's like a part where he's just like,
right.
Yeah, I went to flight school, and there were some boys there. They were learning how to fly.
And it's
Yeah. I can't say
Redacted.
The delivery wasn't as well, but like basically, yeah, that's the general gist of how the joke went. Talking about movies, I wanted to talk about today's kind of theme, which has to do with casting.
Okay.
So there's a lot of movies being made all the time. A lot of them have some of the same people in them, and there's a reason why they make money. You know, people are drawn to them.
Yeah.
And some of the most infamous casting decisions sometimes happen weeks into production.
Yeah.
You know, you've already started, and then you decided to do something else because it's not working. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
The first one I wanted to discuss was Back to the Future.
Yes.
Have you seen all the Back to the Future movies?
I have. I am a huge fan. I've always wanted to be in a DeLorean. Never have the chance yet, but it's a goal. I'm thinking about FanFest at Universal just to go visit Hill Valley, but love Back to the Future so much.
Great movies.
Amazing.
I've never not seen them at my grandma's house.
Really?
Yeah.
The exclusive place to watch the trilogy?
I don't know what it was.
The nostalgia.
I think it's just the nostalgia.
It has to be.
Yeah, I still have the VHS tape.
Did you watch it for the first time at your grandma's?
I don't think so. But I think I just seen it the most times at my grandma's house.
It's like the only set of movies that she owns. And Kevin D's like, I'm bored.
No, but she was also one of those grandmas that would like in the 2000s she went to like swap meets and she got all those like the burned DVDs. Yeah.
So did mine.
Yeah.
I remember I had a burned disc of Shark Tale. I had a copy disc, and it was really funny because there was like very clearly people walking into their seats in the movie theater, and I'm just like, oh, that's a choice, you know.
Gen Z does not appreciate.
They don't understand it.
Like how well they have it.
Streaming, a gift for them.
Just like crucial scenes during the movie, people are coughing and getting up during the movie.
Yeah. I love it though.
Yeah.
It's part of the symphony of sounds of the movie. Yeah.
So Back to the Future was originally written by I think it was, if it wasn't the director, then it was, and I'm blanking on the director's name. He was
Robert Zemeckis.
Thank you. If it wasn't him, it was someone like in that same production team that had an idea where they saw like an old picture of their father.
Yes.
And they found out that like he was like captain of the football team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he basically had this idea like, if I met my father when he was my age, like would I like him? Like would we be friends?
What would it be like?
Yeah. And so they wrote the script. Everyone was set to like make it. Robert Zemeckis was set to direct, and then they really wanted Michael J. Fox. Unfortunately, he was filming a very popular sitcom at the time called Family Ties, and I think it was on CBS or NBC, but one of those networks would not let him out of the contract.
No.
And because of that, they had to go with another actor named Eric Stoltz, best known for his performances in Mask, which got him a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He was in Pulp Fiction. He's been in a lot of really good movies. But the problem with Eric Stoltz is he's a very serious actor, and he viewed Back to the Future as a very serious piece.
Like a drama.
Yeah, because basically, I mean, you could look at it that way too. Like, not that it's not, because Marty's essentially going back in time, and then he's changing stuff. And as soon as he goes back home, he's going back to a time that, like, is like foreign to him essentially because his parents are well off now. Like they basically lived a life that
a fully altered universe.
And that's kind of tragic.
It is. I can understand that, but you know, as someone who writes, you can have funny elements in a drama because at its core, Back to the Future is a drama. It focuses on the relationships and the deep dive that Marty has and going back and learning about his parents and where he came from. So it is a drama, essentially. It just happens to be really, really funny and have really witty moments and charming moments that make us feel a lot more relatable to the characters, you know? But it's not like a heavy piece by any means, you know? Like, the stakes are high, but, you know, like, for Marty at the end of the day, like, I'm sure he had no problem coming home to that altered universe with a nice car or, you know, brand new truck, nice house, you know, the role reversal of Biff working for his dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that was so rewarding, especially knowing that he had a lot to do with it, you know. But I will say that Eric Stoltz was in a movie with the woman who played Marty's mom. And I can't remember. The name of the movie is Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can't remember if that movie, I'm pretty sure it was before Back to the Future. Because I don't remember if it's before or after. Kemdy's searching. But I know that those two actors, I can't think of her name right now.
Leah Thompson?
Leah Thompson, yes. Leah Thompson had a really good acting chemistry with Eric Stoltz. And so I can't tell if they got cast in Some Kind of Wonderful as a result to their work on Back to the Future or their opposite. You know, like their work on Some Kind of Wonderful caused Zemeckis to cast him in Back to the Future.
Yeah, it says 87, so it came out after Back to the Future.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So I know that their dynamic was good and that they had done other things together, but I cannot see the movie with him in it. I really can't.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone else did either because
no, Michael J. Fox.
He was method acting like a lot during the film,
right?
Which
method for Marty McFly is kind of crazy.
Yeah, like literally, he would like not tell. He was like anytime like they would cut, they would be like, "Hey, just call me Marty." Like I don't know who this Eric guy is.
I mean, method is good to a degree. But that is not the production to do that on.
And actually, the actor for Biff, who's actually like seems like one of the nicest guys ever.
Oh my gosh, he is.
He was nervous that he was going to get fired from the movie because he was like, I don't think I'm good at playing an ass, you know?
Yeah, no, he's actually very sweet. I have a fun fact about him.
Oh, really?
His daughter was my choir teacher in elementary school. Whoa. Like when I was, I think, like 7th grade, 8th grade. I went to a Catholic school in Orange, and I was in like the church choir and all that. And she got hired as the like choir director, and she was so nice. And she just casually dropped on us one day, like the lore, like, yeah, well, when my dad was in a movie, like he did that. And we were like, what movie was your dad in? And they were like, oh, you know, Back to the Future, he's Biff. And for like most kids, they don't really either didn't know about Back to the Future or like didn't care, you know. But for me, my little movie girl, like heart, you know, I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And she brought her dad to one of our like recitals, and we got to meet him, and he was very sweet guy. I can't remember his name either, but he's a very nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Yes, very supportive of his family.
And then, so they shot for 5 weeks. 5 weeks is a long like time.
Yeah, like, you're in it. You're really in it.
Like you have to like that's like major scenes.
The hours for each day alone is a lot.
And eventually, they just kind of come to the conclusion, this isn't working. We have to recast. And they work out a deal with, I wish I could remember what network it was. But basically, he would, and they talk about it in Michael J. Fox's documentary.
Yes, I saw that.
Which I can't believe they called Still. I can't believe they called it that. But I think it was his choice.
It probably was.
It's probably funny.
A comedian at heart, for sure.
It reminds me of have you ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes.
One of my favorite episodes is the Michael J. Fox episode, like when he hands Larry a soda. He's like, and he opens it and he squirts in his face.
All
and he's
over.
Like, "Did you do that?" And he's like, "No, man, I have Parkinson's."
I like people who can acknowledge their weaknesses and struggles and turn it into something lighthearted. I think that's a very admirable thing. But he's the perfect person to do that.
A little side tangent. There was a I don't know if you remember this or heard of this, but there was a Michael J. Fox show that aired in like 2013. It ran for like one season.
Oh.
It was him. He was like a news reporter that had been diagnosed with Parkinson's like in the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
So he had to quit after an incident with like a roller chair.
Okay.
Because like he kept like rolling around in the chair. Yeah. That was the show.
If that's the premise, I'm not shocked.
And then he came back, and then he comes back to do the news again. He's like, you know what? I think I could do this again. I think I could be like an anchor.
Yeah.
And like the whole show's about him doing that, balancing family life, and then, yeah.
You know, yeah. There's some shows that are just meant not to air.
Yeah.
You know?
They got a full 22 episodes before they were like, you know, maybe
22
is
is insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was an interesting season of television right there, because you not only had that, but then you also had The Crazy Ones, which is one of my favorite sitcoms. It only lasted one season, but it had Robin Williams, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I do remember that.
Oh
I remember seeing promos for it, like on TV, you know, pre-streaming and everything. I used to love like TV. I loved sitting down for prime time. I loved like my certain sitcoms, my dramas, you know. I miss that. I really do.
I miss appointment television.
I would sit down and make a full event out of it.
Yeah.
Like 9:00 Sunday night, my mom and I would watch Desperate Housewives, and I was far too young to be watching that show. Yeah. But I would beg her, and it was fun because it was something we did together. But I remember that appointment television was my favorite.
I think I got burned too many times by like shows that I watch would get canceled, and like I gave up on like I like fully just like migrated over to streaming around 2016, 2017. Like I stayed way too long. I was like, I gave you way too much time.
That sounds about right though. Like the dawn of the true like streaming age. You know, it existed, but it wasn't like as hardcore as it is now. Because
like you think like back in like the old days, like the most popular television shows were like doing like 20 million like viewership ratings an episode. Now like the best shows do like 5 million.
It's interesting too, because like ratings are so different nowadays than how it was then. Like how do we count ratings accurately and fairly among like television and streaming, and like how do you like equate that, you know? So it's one of those things I've always been interested in. But back in the day there was so much like good TV, you know. Yeah. The golden age for sure.
Of course. Oh yeah, sorry. We were talking about Back to the
Tangent.
Future. Yeah, a little tangent there.
Whatever.
I don't remember how we got onto the TV topic.
Oh, because we were talking about Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox, right? So what they did was he would shoot for like 12 hours.
Yeah, he would do the sitcom
on Family Ties, and then there would be a van that would pull up and pick him up, and like they would just throw him in the van, and then he would shoot for. They would take him to the Universal lot, and he would
all
shoot
night.
him all night. He would shoot Back to the Future, and then he would sleep for like 3-4 hours, and then he would just do that back and forth.
And it's cool because in his documentary, there's like a visual depiction of it, of what his day was, and it's so cool to like see him literally being tossed in the van and like reading through his script, having a sip of coffee, like all those things on the way to the Universal lot and filming all night. I couldn't even imagine.
Oh my gosh.
But he was young enough, I think, like that, you know, your body sustains it for a little bit, but like it's not a habit to keep going by any means, even if you're young.
Another thing I wanted to talk about with Back to the Future is not only did Michael J. Fox replace someone, but the character of Jennifer from Back to the Future.
Yes, that's that is my favorite replacement.
So originally she was played by Melora Hardin, who played Jan on The Office, but she was recast when Eric Stoltz was recast by Michael J. Fox because producers thought she was too tall. And you know how
Michael J. Fox, my short king.
Yeah, you know how people can't have tall girlfriends.
Right.
Apparently,
apparently that's just not allowed.
Yeah,
simply unrealistic.
So they replaced her, and it wouldn't be the first time she would be replaced because
poor thing.
The actress in the first movie, whose name I can't remember.
Justice to that woman,
she isn't in the first movie, or she isn't in the second movie because
they have that little. There's like the overlap of like the reshoot.
They had to reshoot.
They reshoot.
Yeah, they reshot the scene so it would make sense. It wouldn't be jarring when they went into the second one.
Yet it was still jarring. Like, and true fans knew. We were like, that's okay, whatever, you know.
And then of course you have Crispin Glover.
Yes.
being replaced in part 2.
Yes.
They basically, they got like a face mask.
I was going to say, was it like prosthetics?
Yeah, they used a face mask that they used in him on the first one, and then they used that to make prosthetics
for
to
like
put
the
on a
old
different
age.
actor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Huge
Wasn't
lawsuit.
there? Yeah, I was going to say there was a lawsuit, right? For like using his likeness and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
He's the reason you can't do that anymore.
And I love that,
Yeah.
honestly. That's kind of good.
It got really, when I think of that, I also think of like, that's the best way you could have done it. The worst way is, I don't know if you remember, Bruce Lee, when Bruce Lee died, he was filming this one movie called Game of Death.
Yes.
And they rewrote it to like include a scene where he got like shot and had facial surgery.
Oh God.
They had that, and then there's another movie where they just literally just like digitally try to impose his face on top of another actor.
Oh my
It
gosh.
looks god awful.
I don't even want to see.
You don't want to see.
I feel like that's so disrespectful. Not only because in that instance, it wasn't like a simple recasting either. Like he was dead.
Yeah.
You know, like his life was gone. There was just no way of doing that. Respectfully, I fear.
Speaking of respect, something that was done a bit more respectfully was the recasting of Chris Farley.
Oh yes.
In Shrek.
Yes.
So Shrek started out. I didn't even know this until a couple years ago. Shrek was originally a children's book written by William Friedkin, and Spielberg bought the rights to it in the early '90s, and he planned to make like a traditional 2D animated movie out of it. And at some point during the process, they just decided, you know what? I think we're gonna do CG. And because I think once Toy Story hit, they were like, we need to
compete with
game.
this. Yeah, for sure.
And he brought it to DreamWorks when he started DreamWorks. And Chris Farley was the voice of Shrek. And Janeane Garofalo, who is an SNL cast member, she's done a lot of... She's a female comedian. A lot of sort of like deadpan type of things.
Yeah.
She was Fiona, and Eddie Murphy was Donkey. So consistently, Eddie Murphy has always been Donkey, even in the book.
Definitely, yeah.
There's a little button you press, and like you just hear him talking. So Chris Farley got about 80 to 90% of his dialogue recorded, and then he died of an overdose in 1997. They asked his brother to try to like finish the film because they sound alike. But he was just like, yeah, it's not a good time, probably.
Yeah, and that's so fair, you know.
So they were considering just scrapping the film, but then they thought, wait, who's that other guy on SNL?
Yeah.
And then they were like,
the other funny one.
Let's
with an accent.
Yeah. Let's get Mike Myers. Ooh, fun fact about that. So first they rewrite the entire script. So it's like a different
it's like they adjusted the tone for sure, because like most of the jokes originally, if you listen to them, they're very like Farley centric jokes, like things that he either like ad-libbed or like, you know, wrote in. But I remember reading about it. And
have
like,
you seen the clips that
I
are online?
have. Yeah, I have. I love Shrek. Huge Shrek. I have a sticker on my water bottle that says Donkey says eat the rich. So, you know, Shrek girl through and through. One of the first movies I saw in theaters for sure.
I've always found it weird in Shrek how like after the first movie, Duloc is just never mentioned or heard of again.
It's gone.
Yeah. Everything's just far, far away.
Haha.
So where was I? So Mike Myers comes on.
They changed the script.
They changed the script, and because they changed the script and because of how Mike Myers is different comedically than Chris Farley, they also have to recast Janeane Garofalo because her deadpan kind of delivery just doesn't work for that, and they replaced her with Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
I haven't heard I don't think any of Janeane Garofalo's lines as Fiona have been released, so I don't know how she sounded, but I really can't imagine anyone other than Cameron Diaz being Fiona.
I agree.
And, this is a crazy fact, that he recorded the entire movie, and then, like, after they finished, Mike Myers was like, you know, what if I do my fat bastard voice instead?
That's crazy.
So they literally had to spend, I think it was like $1 to $2 million, like resyncing like all his dialogue with like his like mouth movements and everything.
My gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's some lost media out there.
I'm sure.
Of just like Eddie or of Mike Myers just
Mm-hmm.
talking regularly as Shrek. I can't even imagine
Yeah,
that.
I can't picture that.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about, another movie. These are a bit shorter, but we have Kevin Spacey, unfortunately. He was in this movie called All the Money in the World. It was just basically a film about one of the richest men in the world. I think it's his nephew or his grandson gets kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically says, I'm not paying for any ransom. And then they they send his ear in a box. So they're
Right.
like, oh, here's some money. That kid ended up having a terrible life, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's. I actually never saw the movie. I just I
Yeah.
got really bored one day and I just started researching that whole topic. But Kevin Spacey plays like J. Paul Getty,
Okay.
who's like the richest man in the world who I think one of the richest men in the world at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie had been shot. It was supposed to come out in December 2017. So that something happens in October 2017 that kind of
Yeah.
changes everything. And because of that, Kevin Spacey was effectively not seen as a good candidate to represent the film.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he is a villain in the movie. But,
Yeah.
So what they did was, which I find insane, because the movie, this happens like near the end of October. The movie comes out in early December.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like a month. And in that month,
Yeah.
they reshot all of the film with Christopher Plummer, who is
Okay.
best known as his role in, I think he's best known for Sound of Music. But
Yes,
some other
yes.
people might know him for something else.
Some people would say Knives Out,
Knives
like in his
Out.
older age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are his two most like noteworthy,
Yeah.
I would say.
You gotta, whoever edits this podcast has got to put a counter on the amount of times I say
Right.
There's one. So they refilm everything. Very expensive. I think it cost about $10 million in reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
But they get it all done, remixed and everything, and it still meets the exact same date. I don't even think they pushed it at all,
Interesting.
which I thought was amazing. Great work by Ridley Scott. I think that's all I have for that one.
Okay.
A
And
couple
fair enough,
others.
it'll be the shortest
Yeah.
because it's Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, because it's Kevin Spacey. One more point on him though. He acted in a new movie recently,
No.
and wow,
Right.
you forgot how to act, dude.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's-
A hiatus for being a despicable human.
Yeah.
That'll do it to you. You
Yeah.
know.
And then also, I don't know if you remember those House of Cards things where he played his character in like videos that he shot on. That was insane.
I do remember that. I never watched House of Cards.
I didn't either.
Yeah. I think it came out in a time where I wasn't watching that type of television yet. But the only thing I can still watch him in to this day is Baby Driver. Because he's a villain. He's gets killed. Like, all the things that you would love
Spoilers
to
for
see.
Baby Driver.
Sorry. All the things you'd like to see happen to that kind of person.
Yeah. Next one I have is, have you seen Her?
Yes.
So Her, of course, for those of you who don't know, movie where Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with an AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's, fiction, but could be a documentary in the next couple of years, seeing how things are going.
Yeah, definitely.
And Samantha Morton, who's like a famous English actor, was actually the original voice of the AI. What was the name of the AI in that movie?
If only I knew.
If only I knew.
Scarlett Johansson.
Well, Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
took over because at some point during post-production, she'd recorded all her lines already, and Spike Jonze, the director, just thought, yeah, this doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So he has to go, and they have to refilm the scenes. They can't just dub over her lines, because like the way she gives delivery, it
inflection and-
it just sounds different.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to go do reshoots, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Kind of a consistent theme with this episode. Oh, another one involving voice roles.
Okay.
Colin Firth
Mm-hmm.
was originally the voice of Paddington.
No way.
Yeah.
Who's the current voice of Paddington?
Let me check.
Respect to all those who love Paddington. I just have never seen a single film.
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
I'm sure they are. I know that Antonio Banderas played a villain in this last one.
Hugh Bonneville. He's in Downton Abbey.
Okay.
And Paddington.
Another show I have not seen.
Yeah.
Never seen Downton Abbey.
I watched a couple episodes and then I thought, I'm like 12. Why am I watching this show?
Right. Yeah. That was me with Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
Circling back to her, it's really interesting because that film is it was like a call and response film because Sofia Coppola had made Lost in Translation, and that was about her and her husband at the time, Spike Jonze, and it was like her writing about her experience of feeling disconnected and lost and all those feelings. And Her was his response film to that project. And it's interesting when you look at it like that. It could be a good double feature. But yeah. I will say I can't picture anyone else's voice other than Scarlett Johansson. She really does something. And it is interesting because she is the lead in Lost in Translation. So I'm not sure if that was a dig or intentional.
And we thought Kendrick and Drake had like,
right.
the beef.
Right. Yeah.
But Paddington, I honestly think I highly recommend those movies. Like, if you're ever like just like down, just like put on Paddington to whoever's listening to this. It's a great movie. There's 2 of them. A third one's coming out pretty soon. You can watch them with your family. You can watch them with your friends. It's a just unwinding movie. Always puts you in a good mood. So yeah, Paddington. And then the next one we have is. Have you ever heard of Panic Room?
Yes, I have.
The Jodie Foster movie. Originally, Jodie Foster was not the lead in that movie.
Okay.
It was Nicole Kidman.
Interesting.
Yeah. But she re-aggravated an injury she sustained on Moulin Rouge. And she fractured her knee.
Oh my gosh.
And because of that, they were thinking, oh my gosh, like she's not going to recover in time. I think we might have to scrap this film. But luckily, Jodie Foster was able to do it on short notice.
Yeah.
I think she might have been pregnant at the time.
That's really cool.
So they had to either cut around that.
Yeah.
Or I could have that completely wrong.
Right.
But kudos to her if she was able to do that with the pregnancy. Or it might have been Kidman. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about all of this. There may not be any pregnancy
Maybe
whatsoever.
There's no movie called Panic Room. Maybe it just doesn't exist.
Yeah. Maybe I just made it up. But he basically, David Fincher also claims that Foster's character caused them to rewrite the film because Kidman's portrayal was supposed to be glamorous and at odds with her like tomboyish daughter, who was played by Kristen Stewart, and Foster's version was closer to like her daughter's, and like the script was rewritten to make her like a stronger character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I'm not going to lie, a little rude to have it written one way, being more feminine, like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And assuming that Jodie Foster can't play feminine. I don't know. It's just a weird thing for me as a writer. I think if you have a story and you want to stick to the dynamic of the characters, the actors should be capable to adjust with that, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like Jodie Foster's very like wide like array of characters.
Yeah, she's got a spectrum of talent, you know.
So there's no reason that she couldn't play like really feminine too.
Yeah, unless it was her choice and she thought stylistically for whatever reason.
Yeah, it could have been like a thing they worked on together.
It could have been a collaborative process for sure.
So we talked a lot about casting kind of changes throughout the process. What do you think is like? What are some of your favorite like castings throughout like all movies?
Wow, all movies is crazy.
Okay, let's say.
Do you want to give me an example of like one of yours?
Okay, yeah. One of my favorite castings, Denzel Malcolm X. I feel like that's like the role he was born to play. He should have won the Oscar for it, but he kind of. That's a whole thing. I've talked about this on a previous episode where like sometimes like you kind of get screwed over with the Oscars, like because Al Pacino won that year, because he had never won before.
Yeah.
He should have won for The Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, it's always one of those things. It's like, this one should have done this, and it like messes things up. Like Leo should have won for whatever, but instead he won for The Revenant.
Which I get it. Like, it's a great performance, but he should have won for Wolf of Wall Street. But that was during the McConaughey.
Oh yes, it was. It was.
I really hope I'm not the only one who calls it that.
I don't think you are.
Okay.
Because I understand the reference.
Okay. All right.
But I will say that going off of that, I think Denzel's son, I can't remember his
John
first
David Washington.
John David Washington in Black Klansman as Ron Stallworth. I love Spike Lee. I think his films are very influential for me. But I think that film as a whole could not have been done with a different lead, and there's plenty of talented Black actors who can be a frontman for something like that. But he had some sort of like charm and charisma that like was so endearing in that role, like he made you feel relatable to the whole situation and the gravity and the stakes in that situation. But I can't see it with anyone else, truth be told.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. And if I remember correctly, he was also a football player at one point.
Yes, it's very similar to like Ryan Coogler's story, that they started in the sports arena and then transitioned into film. I know that John David's first role was like in his 30s, I believe. Like that was one of his first time acting, Wow. I love that. I love a good middle and second act in life.
And he doesn't feel like a Nepo baby.
No, and I'm sure with a dad like Denzel, he probably made you work for it his whole life,
Definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite casting for sure.
I also think another great one, in my opinion, is Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes. I think everyone who was in that film like did a really good job.
Yeah, the woman who played Nurse Ratched.
Yes. Can't think of her name, but
I think it's like something Fletcher.
But Back to the Future, Christopher Lloyd. He's in that film.
Danny
DeVito. Plenty of people who are just awesome, But definitely Jack Nicholson, he's another one of those broad spectrum of characters in his lifetime, but that's one that is held to very high regards.
There's this great, going back to Robin Williams and Jack Nicholson, I'm so upset that we never got a film with the two of them together. I think like that would have been great.
It would have been a great dynamic for sure.
There's a video of Jack Nicholson, I think it's at the SAG Awards or maybe the Golden Globes.
Yes, I know exactly.
Where Robin Williams is, he's giving a speech because Jack Nicholson's like way too high. He's like, I never usually get this baked, but
he's like, I'm going to pass
Robin,
it over.
Can you come here and say something for me? And then he does like a Jack Nicholson impression. He's like, hopefully Shaq kicks his ass tonight. And it's so funny.
Hopefully, if I ever get to that level of fame, I'll have my own Robin Williams assist me.
Yeah.
I would say another one for me personally is I love the casting of, what's her name? Florence Pugh in the modern Little Women adaptation. I think
she was in that one?
She was in the 2019 version by Greta Gerwig. Oh. She played Amy March. And I know that could be a hot take for some people, but because people like to comment that like she shouldn't have played that because she was too old to be the youngest sister. I personally don't care. When you watch a movie, you're kind of suspending disbelief, and you think that people are much younger, much older than they already are. But I think she brought something really good to the character, so much that I've seen all the versions of Little Women. I've read the novel. It's been a story that I've cared about, and I think she did a good job of keeping that role what it should be,
Yeah.
But I love her in that. She's just phenomenal in everything. Have yet to see Thunderbolts, but
I'm gonna go see that, I think maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess another really surprising take that for a recent movie, I was very surprised at Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. I was. And I know that a lot of people have always thought he was a great actor. I cannot say that I was one of them. I did not necessarily like his acting choices sometimes. I just thought he was a pretty boy. But after Sinners, I can't see it with anyone else. And I love that he played two parts.
Have you seen his early stuff?
I have. He was great. I think, when he was in that one, his first short film that he was in with Ryan Coogler.
Oh, Fruitvale Station?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was remarkable, but I only watched that recently because of Sinners. Like, I never saw it beforehand.
You should see his TV stuff, too, because he was also in, what was it, The Wire?
Okay.
And then Friday Night Lights.
Yes, I did see him in Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
I love Friday Night Lights.
I love that. Like,
I need a rewatch soon. But I remember watching it in real time when I was little.
I just want to meet one of the actors and just yell Texas forever and just like
see the reaction.
Yeah, I hope they yell it back to me.
Could you imagine? It's like when you see those videos of people running up to Troy Bolton's dad and being like, "Go Wildcats." Same energy.
He's in other Disney Channel movies.
He is, yeah.
I noticed that because I was doing like a rewatch of like old Disney Channel movies, and I'm like, they use a lot of the same actors.
I wonder if they were ever like on contract, like they had to do like 5 DCOMs in a year or something like that,
Maybe,
because that's what it feels like.
Yeah. DCOMs, miss those days.
Kids will never know.
I think they still make them, but they're just not the same as they used to be.
No, unfortunately, they're not.
Plus, I don't think people watch Disney Channel anymore. They mainly watch Disney Plus.
Yes, I know that there's like been a lot of confusion and discourse around that, just because Disney Channel was so specific to cable. Like, it was so specific to that. That's the whole point, like you would brag if you had Disney Channel back in the day, but now with streaming, I wonder if they're going to do like a Disney Channel like section on Disney Plus or something like that. Who knows? Streaming is so interesting.
It is.
Especially with a company like Disney.
Yeah. I love how I find it interesting how like Disney was always protective of like, we're not going to let any of these films out the Disney Vault or anything like that, and then just like, no, forget all that.
Released all of them.
Yeah, literally released all of them. And now you can watch I can't watch them right now because I can't remember what my Disney Plus password is, and I just haven't had the time to reset it. But yeah, you can literally watch everything but Song of the South,
Or you could just watch redacted versions of everything else. This was last casting thing that I have. Okay.
You got Robin Williams as the genie.
Oh my gosh. So good. So amazing. Was it anyone else before, or was it always his part?
They wrote the part for him.
Okay.
Which is what I wanted to talk about, like how they don't do that anymore with like with animated movies. They literally just cast
whoever,
all these celebrities, and they're like Reese Witherspoon, Renee Zellweger in Over the Hedge, or stuff like that. And
Over the Hedge is a great movie. I would like to say that was
the first
me
one.
Getting defensive over.
That was
about
the first
Over the
one
Hedge.
I thought of. I'm sorry.
Over the Hedge is a fantastic film.
It's a fantastic film.
Deserve more recognition.
Bruce Willis,
Steve Carell, Wanda Sykes, Avril Lavigne. Tons of people. Can't think of all of them at the moment. But wonderful film. Don't ever knock that again in my presence. But yes, they cast stars because they think stars will bring money, and it doesn't always equate to that. Sometimes you do need just some person who understands the character because they resonate tightly with it. And I think that's why Genie was such a great character. It's a beloved story and a beloved character.
And you can't really do it. Like Will Smith tried to do a little differently, and it didn't work.
I am not here for the Disney live actions. I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
I don't like them. I think that some things were meant to be a product of the time, and we should leave them at that. And I think Aladdin is one of them. No one could really touch what Robin Williams did in that film.
Are you telling me that you're not excited for the new live-action Lilo and Stitch movie only in theaters next Friday?
I will be seeing it. That's a nostalgic movie for me, but they cast someone who is very sweet for Lilo, and I have a lot of hope in her. Who knows? Maybe this is the one that is successful for Disney, because we all know they could use that after Snow White.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a difference between remaking a movie about a little alien like Stitch and touching work that was like a gold mine from Robin Williams.
It's like that lady that broke into like that church and tried to fix that Jesus painting. I don't know if you've seen that.
I think I have heard of it, but you can't like fix something like that. You know, you can't change it. You can't erase it. You can't really improve on it, honestly. Like, he was so witty and comical, and I can only hope to like write a role for someone who's a good actor. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
For the listener, I'm looking at the fixed version of the Jesus painting.
Like, some lady broke into like
That's gross.
like the place and then just like tried to fix it, like, but she was like, I can't remember if she did it in the dark or she was like partly blind.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Maybe high.
But yeah, could be.
No, yeah, like that is exactly what I see when I see the 1990s version of Aladdin and the 2010s version of Aladdin.
Yeah.
Just not successful at all. But we should write roles based around certain actors, especially in animation.
Yeah.
I think it's like a very good way to storytell.
Because up until like the 90s, they were really using they weren't using A-list actors for like those films. It wasn't until Robin Williams with the Genie and Aladdin, and then it was popularized when like Shrek came out.
Yes.
But the thing is about Shrek, it's a good, well-written movie.
Yeah, at its core, it's good writing, a good story, and a good moral, you know? But I think it's just nowadays everything is just based on ratings and numbers and money, and instead of like focusing on the true art form that is storytelling like this, you know?
It happens.
Well, hopefully with people like us graduating and going into the world, things will
get better.
Yeah, it'll be better. I think we're about to strike gold with like the people who are going into Hollywood. I think all of us who are trying to do the same thing at once, we are all going to become peers and collaborators and connections, you know, even though it is bittersweet, like you said.
It is bittersweet, but
we're on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good place to end things.
Yeah, 100%.
I thought you did great. Little known fact, little to known to anyone that's listening, this is your first podcast.
It is, yes.
So I thought you did great.
Thank you.
I think you have a good voice for podcasting. You should try it out.
Thank you. I podcast to my friends for free, so maybe we'll do it for real now. But Chemd will get all the credit for being my first one.
All right. Thank you to everyone who listened. And thank you again for Annabelle for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, Chemd.
All right. Thank you. And goodbye.